In DC, for DC. DC Radio, 96.3 HD4 and DCRadio.gov.
Chopping It Up with Chook. Yes, indeed. I am so glad to be here. How are you all out there? Y'all all right? Y'all all right? Is the sun shining yet? I think we see the sun shining a little bit. They got the blinds closed. But yes, this is an amazing day because I have, first and foremost, let me give my shout outs to my DC radio family. Thank you all so much. You know, y'all have been bearing with me, coming in here, bringing instruments and stuff, and y'all out there working. Thank y'all so much. We are all in this together. So, yes, big shout out DC Radio, Max Myrick and Shane, the producer. Thank you so much, brother, for putting things on point. Also, Jazzy Girl, I know you out there in New Jersey working, all that good stuff. Proud of you. And shout out to Mrs. Malika Caldwell. She was unable to be in the studio today, but she's always making sure that stuff goes on well here. So, first and foremost, if y'all been following my posts, all that stuff on social media, Facebook and Instagram, I've been tagging this term, the entrepreneurial saxman. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, in the studio today, I have Mr. Marcus Mitchell. What's going on, brother?
What's up, Chooky? Woo.
Man, it's amazing. We were out there, we were in the lobby talking. Yeah. And I love the way, like I said, we might know each other for years in the music community. Uh-huh. But it's also amazing when you have time just to sit down and just like, yo, okay, well, on stage, he's amazing, all that stuff, but what else did he do? And then I'm like, online, I turned it to him, I was like, whoa, he does this and this. I said, I had to have you on the show, brother.
Man, I appreciate it, man. We were just talking outside, and I called you the young OG.
Oh, man, listen, I'm trying.
You know what I'm saying? and it's the truth. I mean, me growing up in this area, man, you're like one of the people that I followed when I got my first start. So,
man, and then when I've been following you now, it's like, okay, so listen, so we're going to jump into it off the break.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Marcus Mitchell. So, listen, brother, so can you tell us a little bit, like, where, where you from and how it started?
See, a lot of people get like that misconception. They're like, man, where is this guy from? We don't know. He has a down hat on and all that stuff. So, I always said to myself, because I was a military brat, I can kind of claim where I wanted to be from.
That's cool. Listen, that works.
So this is like a first exclusive ever. This is like Breakfast Club type stuff.
Gotcha.
I was actually born in Missouri, Whiteman Air Force Base.
Really?
Knob Noster, Missouri. You've probably never heard of it.
Wow.
So, but when I was born, my father got his duty station in Japan. So I was like a little baby, like a month old, on a 24-hour flight. To Japan.
Wow.
And we were there for 4 years, and his last duty station was at Andrews Air Force Base.
Gotcha.
But I told myself, I really don't have a home. I'm not from Missouri.
Right, exactly.
So, I love Houston.
Yeah.
So I said, man, I'm from Houston.
Gotcha.
So that's an exclusive, too.
Listen, man, you heard it here first on Chopping It Up with you.
Everybody's going to be like, man, I knew he wasn't from Houston. He ain't even got no accent or nothing.
So when you were in Japan, did you...
Yeah.
I mean, you said so you were like about 4 or 5 when you came over, or did you learn any Japan?
Yes. We had what was called a mama-san.
Okay.
So she was like our nanny.
Right.
So we were forced to learn Japanese because the English was very, it was a barrier, of course.
Gotcha.
So yeah, we had to learn.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And what's crazy is sometimes we just think mama-san is just a name that we came up with here. And you hear it at the carryout, you know what I'm saying? And,
no, it's very true.
Shout outs to all of the carryouts here in the DMV. Y'all have helped us through many sleepless nights.
Right.
But yeah, so it's like that kind of history, man, that's really exciting.
Yeah.
So what gives you your inspiration to do what you do? Because first and foremost, y'all, so let's break down a little bit. First and foremost, he's an amazing musician.
I appreciate that.
I remember the first time, like I said, we were out there talking. Yeah. That might have been almost 20 years ago, maybe, brother. 15, 20 years, like Golden Dragon.
Yeah.
And we were talking to, I was talking to Marcus Young about that.
Oh, yeah, by the way, Marcus, this is for you, man. So,
you got his shades on.
Sorry, Chook.
No, you good. You good. So, but there's so many things that you do. That, like I said, not only you're an amazing musician, but then there were some times I was like, wow, He's doing this, so you're going to have to talk about the saxophone.
Yeah.
That's one of the things outside of being a musician. So what is that about?
Well, I started the instrument company back in 2016.
Gotcha.
And it's all about timing.
Got it.
I had the opportunity to meet with a couple of business partners that I do business with overseas.
Got it.
And they were like, well, we've been doing this type of business together. We've been doing that. Have you ever thought about doing some other stuff? And I said, actually, I have.
See?
I've always wanted to develop saxophones and stuff like that, and I had a partner over in China who had the connections to do it. So we spoke. Of course, it took a lot as far as barrier to entry and all that stuff, but
Gotcha.
It came through.
But man, they're beautiful. Can you show?
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
Can you, for those of you listening,
Yeah.
and those who are viewing right now,
Sure.
that is a beautiful.
Thank you.
brother.
So this is our latest edition. It's called the M Series.
Ooh.
So black nickel, proprietary engraving and stuff, and we actually developed the first model for Mark Cuban for the Dallas Mavericks.
Really?
Last year. Yeah. So
Wow. Does he play?
he does not.
He just wanted to have a beautiful.
Yeah, I've been knowing Mark for a while, and so we tried to do like stuff together in the past, and he would always be like, "Man, if the opportunity is right, we'll do something." So I finally.
So pause. Do y'all hear?
Yeah.
Continue, brother.
So I finally hit him up, and I told him about this. Is another true story. Finally told him about the instrument company, and we also have something that's called the Student Give Back Program, where we donate instruments to students and stuff.
Okay.
And I told him about it, and it was funny. It was a long email, and Mark is a type, he does not like long emails.
Gotcha.
So
Gotcha.
he just said at the end, "How much do you need?"
Wow.
And I said, so it took me a while to kind of, take everything in. And then me being me, I said an amount. He said, "Marcus, really? Call me."
Right.
So that didn't go too far.
Gotcha.
So about a year later, he's like, "Man, if you can do a couple of instruments for me for my charity and stuff, that'd be great." So
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy. And then like one time, some years back. So like I said, it's such a blessing and a privilege to see what I believe what makes what gives you followers or fans or supporters is. A lot of it is your persona and your character off stage.
Sure.
What are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Because at a certain point, these 12 notes, we all have that universal language there.
Yeah.
But what are you doing off stage? And when you're getting into so many other different business ventures and stuff like that, like I said, what I was saying before, that's what this show is for, to share with others out there who want to be artists, entrepreneurs. And I said, I wanted to definitely have you because you're both. You know what I'm saying? And then I also... a couple of years back, I just remember, there's this new spot. Boy.
Well, that's going to take like a 2-hour show to explain that.
Right.
we can talk about it a little bit, though.
Yeah. So I mean, the club.
Yeah, Jazzy's. Yeah. So, that was an interesting time. I always wanted to own my own jazz club and stuff, but I think the biggest thing is once you kind of learn about different businesses and getting into it, you're so excited, man, this is my opportunity. But
Gotcha.
And this is another exclusive. The very first time I walked into my restaurant, I knew I was going to fail. I knew that we were going to close.
Wow.
And that's just truth. I was walking around, I saw stuff, I saw my friends doing stuff, and, people wanted freebies and stuff, and I said to myself, man, I'm going to fail. And I normally don't say that, but it was just a gut instinct, and I tried everything to keep the business afloat, but we were out of business within a year.
So listen, you all. So it don't get no more transparent than that. You know what I'm saying? And to that own self be true. Like when you're opening up, when you're doing different ventures, even when you're doing things just for yourself. I say sometimes, like when I'm producing a song, if I'm producing a reggae tune, and if I'm not. I'm like, this ain't it. If I'm not feeling it, how am I going to expect anybody else to feel it?
Sure.
And a lot of times, sometimes it's acknowledging that gut feeling. But even if you try it, my dad tells me, he said, I rather would have tried and failed than to never have tried at all.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean, that's an experience that not only are y'all hearing it here on Choppin' It Up with Chook, but you know what I'm saying, take these little tidbits and put it whatever, whoever's out there and you're creating something, or what I'm saying, you're endeavoring upon a new venture, take some of these experiences that others have gone through, and you can avoid some of those pitfalls.
Man,
you know what I'm saying?
I've started a lot of businesses, but I can tell you the restaurant business is crazy, man.
Gotcha.
Beyond crazy.
But what's another great thing though is that over time though you have put out some amazing music.
Yes.
So
I always tell people first musician, first businessman, second, and they're like, wait, no, we think it's the other way around. No.
So even though music is is a universal language,
yeah.
but it's a healer, not only to those who hear it, but to those who play it.
Oh my God, man! I can tell you many times where I've just sat down, after a long day or crucial conference call and stuff, and I just put on some music, man, just to kind of wind down.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So there's one song that's called "It's Possible."
Yes.
So. I want you. Can you go into that? You know what I'm saying? After the dialogue we just had, I was like, look, everything is possible. So it's possible. So tell us.
Yeah. So this is a song off of my A-Team CD. A-Team's project entitled.
Wait a minute, rewind.
Yeah.
Open your ears.
Hey, I've been trying to keep up with you for a long time, Chook.
Hey, I'm not an 18 yet, but
well,
we push it, but
every time I'm playing a note, I'm like, man, what would Chook do? So, I got to be on my A game, man.
Man, you always pushing the mark.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. So, this is my 18th project. It's called In My Own Lane,
Gotcha.
And Impossible features Lena. She was signed to Atlantic back in the 90s. And when Hidden Beach first started, she was, I think Steve McKeever signed her. She was the number 3 artist. It was Jill Scott. I'm sorry, number 4. Jill Scott, Kindred Family Soul, Mike Phillips, then Lena.
Got it.
So this was back in the MySpace era, and I'm like 19 or 20. I said, first of all, this girl's fine.
Right.
She probably ain't gonna listen to me, but I'm gonna take a chance.
Right.
I'm like, this social media thing is something different, boy.
Yeah, it is.
So they didn't even say slide in the DMs back then. It was just like typing or whatever. But anyway,
Right.
So I said, Lena, I'm hoping we can work together one day. And she wrote back like, ha, who are you? And all this stuff. And
Really?
And now here we are.
Listen, you're hearing right now, It's Possible by Marcus Mitchell here on Choppin' It Up with Chook, DC Radio. You are hearing it live on Choppin It Up with Chook. That's It's Possible by Mr. Marcus Mitchell.
Sounds way better than here. Jeez, sometimes I be in the car, I'm like, man, what in the world is this?
So look, that's amazing. So listen, so what's crazy is I understand, like, sometimes we go through so much to get the CD out, and it sounds great to everybody else, but then it's like when we hear it, we're like, man, why didn't I? Right. Well, let me tell you, it sounds great to us in here.
I appreciate it, man.
Absolutely, it does. So share with us, what is your creative process? What does that look like for you?
Musically or businessly?
Both.
Okay.
Both.
From a music standpoint, man, it's just like I like to recruit different producers around the world, and we just kind of collaborate back and forth and stuff. I'm the type of person, I'm a big listener. A lot of people assume that I'm arrogant and I talk and stuff, but I am a big listener when it comes to music and stuff, because without the, it's just like the whole gumbo situation. You put all that those ingredients in and come in with the great product at the end.
Right.
So that's the biggest thing. If I can collaborate with a Chooky.
Man. And listen, but you just said something like, brother, I'm here and let me stamp this. I never would think you're arrogant or anything of that nature. Yeah. So those people, anybody who said that about Marcus Mitchell, man, you need to go look in the mirror and check yourself.
Man,
this brother,
wait till you see them comments on Facebook Live. They come and watch.
That's right. No. Not for this one, it's not. But brother, but the thing about it is, you have shown yourself you've accomplished so much even up to now, and still have so much more to attain. So what for you? What do you think one of your biggest accomplishments is?
Wow, I don't know, man. I think the biggest thing for me is just waking up every morning.
Gotcha.
That's my biggest accomplishment, because business will come and go, music will come and go, but just the fact that I'm able to get up, speak to my family, do stuff for the community and stuff like that. That's huge for me.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then also as an artist and tapping into being an entrepreneur, I've learned even watching you that the various streams of income is very, very important.
Absolutely.
And so you have identified a couple of streams. I know you have the what is it, MHM?
Yes, right? MHMIC. So we, more than saxophones, we do trumpets.
Gotcha.
Trombones, flutes, mouthpieces. Everything you see here is the company. Reeds, ligatures, that's all the company.
Gotcha. So, y'all need to be searching that. MHMIC.
Yes, sir. The Marcus H. Mitchell Instrument Collection.
I love that. Brandon. Then I've also seen, so that's one. Then you have the 18 projects. That's consistent.
Yes.
Income or and platform worthy items.
Sure. And a lot of people, they're like, man, you have 18 projects. We don't see them online, and that's been a long-term goal for me.
Right.
When I first put out my first CD, Jumpin', I said that I would never do more than 3 digital albums, because I wanted to sell my catalog to a conglomerate by the time I got to my 20th CD. Got it. Next year, I'm at my 20th CD, and I already have a deal in place with one of the main streaming services in the world.
Ooh, business. Listen, that's very, very important. So you have the CDs, you have the instrument collection, then you also have, what is it, M Hydration?
Yes.
The water.
Yes.
I've been seeing it, and I had no idea until
Yeah. So everything I do is more like a boutique brand type thing.
Got it.
So understanding business or anything, that having a lot of inventory costs a lot of money. Shelf space costs a lot of money. So for us, any business that I do, I try to do on a more boutique brand base, basically meaning that, smaller in inventory and stuff, and doing small micro deals in a sense. So M Hydration started out in my restaurant.
Got it.
And then after that point, we did little micro deals with hotels across the country, resorts around the world and stuff. So we make our income on, boutique stuff. We're not, doing a thing with Walmart or something like that would be cool, but it takes a lot. It takes a lot. So for me, I'm happy at the success of the boutique side, if that makes sense.
Man, listen. You have literally opened up opportunity for people to think differently.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
You know what I'm saying? Dream big, and then when you see someone that's not far from you and in your community, and definitely I've been seeing in here in the DMV,
right?
And all of these things that you have attained, be like, good gracious, okay, well I can dream bigger because It's it's attainable.
Sure.
So man, like I said, give you your flowers while you can smell them, man. Even me being, just only a few years older.
Yeah.
When we met, man, I was just like, man, I'm really, really impressed.
Oh, I appreciate
you know what I'm saying?
That,
so, and it pushes, other of us to push, step your game face up.
Yeah.
Update your lifestyle software.
Right.
You know?
And I always tell people all the time that success is dictated from different aspects, So you may have a person, and I know people that, man, I never graduated from, not me, I graduated from college, but I'm saying people that I know, man, I never graduated from college.
Gotcha.
And now I can afford a house.
Right.
Or I'm making $100,000 a year.
Right.
That's my success. So I always tell people all the time, success is dictated by different avenues. And another thing that I like to tell people, don't get caught up in trying to follow people so much.
Right.
Social media gets so toxic now that, they're looking on people's stories. Well, dang.
Yeah.
This person's on tour 267 days a year.
Yeah.
But I'm at home. Like, what's up with that? No.
Yeah.
Find your passion, find your niche, and go with it.
That is the key. That is the key. And we didn't talk about this before we met. Yeah. That's my thing. Like, identify your passion.
Yes.
And your passion is that one thing everybody out there that you wake up thinking about. That's the first thing you think about. You go to sleep thinking about that. Your passion is the one thing that you would want to do, even if it wasn't bringing in income.
Yeah, it is.
But you love it so much, you want the best for it.
Yes, sir.
So, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
That's when sometimes you think if it don't make dollars, then it don't make sense. You got to make it work for you.
You got to make it work somehow. Yeah. That passion, boy.
Yes, indeed.
Yes,
so this is amazing because it's a lot of stuff. Like I said, we're gonna have to. We were talking about some other things.
Yeah.
You keep you all's eyes open because there's gonna be some collaborations and some things. And we're gonna. Speaking of, what is one of the spots that you like to play? What venue in the DMV do you like to play at?
Oh man, Blues Alley for sure.
Gotcha.
It's the most intimate spot for me.
Right.
Playing with you and Marcus Johnson in there, man.
Yes,
it's just like many a times. I mean, I can't even count on my hands now how many times we've been in there. You know what I'm saying?
And what's so fun?
Yeah, but every time you're in there, it's just like it's the first time.
It is.
Every time it just brings something to you, man.
Yeah.
Walking down those stairs, and you're on the stage, and the people are like right there, man. It's awesome, man.
Very intimate setting.
Yes, I love Blues Alley.
So listen, so the time though people spend with you and listening to you. So sidebar, when we're on stage, there's some times where we're playing a song. I'll be listening to you. I was like, boy, he is playing.
No, but as soon as I do a line, you do it the same way.
Oh, man. But
I'll be like, and then Chook comes, I'm like, oh, shoot. I tell you every time, I'm like, dude, I got to go back and practice.
Lies. I mean, but you set that atmosphere. People, so the thing about it is, it's so fun because I always say, like, the people in the audience or something like that they're eavesdropping on a conversation we're having.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So it's always a blessing. Even just to even be able to be up there to, experience that.
Yeah.
So you got another song that's really, really cool called Vibe With Me.
Yes.
What's the story behind that, brother?
So this particular album, In My Own Lane, was just like a transitional period for me. When I first came into the business, I was so hooked on the smooth jazz thing. I had a single with Jeff Lorber and all the stuff that did very well on radio and all the stuff. And I said, you know what? Moving forward, I want to just do something that's genuine to me.
Gotcha.
So I started listening to a lot of Braxton Cook and some other people, saxophonists, and Brent Burkhead, one of my favorites. And I'm like, man,
that's the homie.
I just want to do an album that just feels organic to me.
Gotcha.
So Vibe With Me has that whole, neo soul, jazz. So it's pretty dope.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's no better time for us to listen to Vibe With Me by Marcus Mitchell here on Choppin' It Up with Chook, DC Radio. Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Vibe With Me by Mr. Marcus Mitchell.
Yes,
here
sir.
live on Choppin It Up with Chook. Yeah, we always have fun when we're in here. Always have fun. So I would not dare have Marcus Mitchell here and
man.
that beautiful saxophone you got there.
Man,
and we don't, hear something of it. You know? So let me see. We'll play, that's silly, bro.
See what I'm saying?
Y'all, understand something. These moments are absolutely amazing.
Yes, sir,
This
it
is the
is.
first time me and Marcus have done this like this.
Right.
That's fun, bro.
Oh, man, shoot.
Y'all are hearing it right here.
Man, that was awesome. That was fun.
Turn it up, turn it up. Chopping it up with you. Only
Yeah.
here. This is episode 5. Y'all just continue to wait. This is going to be so fun. So, right now, I have a question for you. Name one song for you that has like impacted your life.
Who we just played.
Gotcha.
You know, Walter Beasley, one of my mentors, he's been doing this ever since he had the opportunity to meet Grover. I didn't have that opportunity. The first record that my father got for me, because he's a saxophone player, was Mr. Magic.
Gotcha.
So Walter always makes it a point to play Mr. Magic at every show.
Gotcha.
And I do the same thing. And cats be like, man, really, Marcus? And I'm like, dude, it's something that I have to do.
Absolutely.
So, yeah,
Absolutely.
Mr. Magic.
And what's crazy is it's such a familiar tune, so people who haven't heard you before, they gravitate. They be like, oh, not only did he play that song, he played that real good. Well, what else he gonna play?
Yeah, right,
You know?
Right. And sometimes they be like, man, too much Walter Beasley. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm sorry. That's one of my influences.
Absolutely. Listen, brother, it has been amazing, and
Thank
definitely,
you.
I know you're going to have some more words before we end this show.
Absolutely.
So listen up, you all. I want you all, Brother Marcus Mitchell,
Yes, sir.
tell everyone how they can stay in contact with you.
Yeah, so everything Marcus H. Mitchell, MHM Sax, IG, Marcus H. Mitchell, Twitter, Facebook, Marcus H. Mitchell. We're working on a new website. And hopefully by that time, the new deal with the streaming service will be done by the first of the year. So I'm excited about that.
Oh man, y'all hearing it here. So listen up. We're going to take a pause for the calls. Is that all right? We're just going to take 2 minutes. I'm going to play a song from, what album is this? This is called the Subject to Change album.
Oh, one of my favorites.
Oh man, thank you so much. This
Yes,
is a
sir.
song that me and Jarrell Abraham, bass player in the DMV as well, he's going to be on the show. Him and Attention. Y'all be on the lookout. But this is a song that we came up together. It's called Destination Baseland. Take a listen. Here on Chopping It Up with Chook, DC Radio. Yes, indeed. That's just a little bit of Destination Baseland off of my album, Subject to Change. Hello, everyone. Y'all still there with me? Y'all chiming in here on Choppin' It Up with Chook, DC Radio, all that good stuff. So today was amazing. First and foremost, we had the amazing, I call him the entrepreneurial saxman himself, Marcus Mitchell, who's still in the studio with us and is going to come back in a little bit for some closing words. But I got a surprise guest that told me that they were coming in town, and there's some amazing things happening with this brother here. If you all don't know, his name is Solomon Howard. Solomon Howard, we'll talk in a moment of how I know him. You all, first and foremost, it's absolutely, I can speak for a good amount of our people of how proud we are of you. Definitely being born and raised in the DMV. Not only that, but you have surpassed some amazing feats. And with your platform now, if you all don't know, you all hear when he starts talking, he's a world-renowned bassist that he's a recent graduate of Washington National Opera's Domingo Cafritz Young Artist Program, a program at John F. Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts. Solomon Howard, I'm reading his bio. I would just want y'all to hear this. Solomon Howard garners high praise from the press for his vivid performances on the great opera and concert stages of the world. His voice is described as sonorous. So I had to go look it up. I said, I heard the word before, but sonorous means deep sound or ringing, really deep and ringing sound. By the New York Times, his voice has been described as superhuman by the Denver Post, and a triumph by The Guardian. Those are some very, very, very high compliments, and I'm so glad and blessed and honored to have in this studio right now, Mr. Solomon Howard. What's going on?
Glad to be here, man. I think I spilled the beans on how we know one another on Facebook.
Oh, did you?
A little earlier, but it's an honor to be here.
Absolutely.
And
so for those of you all who don't know, this is my blood cousin. This
Absolutely.
is my blood cousin. This is my mama's sister's oldest.
Right.
Yeah. I was over doing the man for like, yeah. So how it is, even in our family, in our immediate family, I'm the oldest male of the of our generation.
Well, you're the oldest grandchild, and like period. And then there's one after you by our Aunt Jessica, LaWanda, by our Aunt Jessica, and then my mom.
Yeah.
So it's like the girls were having children in order of their age, because your mom's the oldest,
Right.
then Aunt Jessica,
Sure
then my mom's the baby.
How about that? And so I'm just so honored, and you all even hear his talking voice. I've had the opportunity to see you a couple times coming to the Kennedy Center. Not only that, but you have made some amazing accomplishments. Tell us a little bit about at the Met and so forth and so on. I mean, just like you got something coming up Monday.
Yeah, so Monday, I would like to start with that, because that's what brings me here to DC. Currently living on the road.
Gotcha.
I have a storage unit here in town, so whenever I need clothing for different seasons,
Gotcha.
I come back and switch it out. But,
Gotcha.
so I'm working year round, so here in the States and abroad. So I'm dividing my time half and half, and in the States and in Europe, South America, Asia as well. But yeah, I won. The Kennedy Center gives out an award annually to an artist that's showing great success or achievement in classical music, and it's in the name of the great Marian Anderson,
Yes.
a very iconic figure for not only classical music, but specifically for the African American community.
Gotcha.
And part of the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing, I'm able to do what I'm doing. Marian Anderson was the first African American artist to perform at the Metropolitan Opera.
Got it.
Back in the 60s. And she, with her being someone to open that door for so many of us to follow, I, decades later, made my Metropolitan Opera debut as the king in Verdi's opera Aida. And that was in 2014 after I had finished the Young Artist Program at Washington Opera. So I finished the program, and right out of the program was singing at the major houses across the world. So very fortunate, very blessed, and as we grew up in church. Your mom's a minister, pastor. My mom's pastor. Grandparents. So we attribute our abilities to gifts. Gifts from God. So very very fortunate to be trusted with the gift that I have, and always certain to make sure I give that honor to God for this ability.
And so, what's amazing is, and of course, we're blood family, but even listening to you talk and then listen, like I was telling Marcus Mitchell earlier, I said it's one thing for us to know each other, grow up with each other, even be family, but the mere fact to be able to go and do a little bit of research about what this person is doing now, all that stuff. Right. And I'm very, very proud of you. I would not dare have you come in here and you don't sing something,
Well, first, let me, before we go to that, I just want to, a shout out to you, because you are the one from the family, from our generation, that first went on the road. So you took music, you took our family name and took music worldwide. And so that gave me the, we were talking on the phone the other day. I hung out with you tough. Yeah. Growing up, I remember one time I kind of wandered away from home. Right. And fortunately, we didn't live too far from one another. Right. And, I came over and spent some time with you. But, whenever you had a gig, I'm like, Chooky, can I please go? I just want to be there. And I met some great musicians along the way. What got me into playing percussion, I also play Afro-Cuban Latin percussion. Later studied with Tiki Pacias and Wilson Chembo Cordial. But just being around you, helped
y'all need
to
to Google
influence.
Those names. Those are great names, y'all.
Yeah.
Yes.
Being around you helped to influence what I wanted to do as far as music full-time professionally, and watching you, I knew that it was possible. So I just want to thank you.
Oh man, and when I tell you have taken it by leaps and bounds and taken that torch and gone to some places I never would have imagined. So very, very proud of you all.
Absolutely.
So you got a big event coming up?
Yeah, so the Marian Anderson Award, it's also a part of the award. The recipient has to give a concert. Then we do a residency at Duke Ellington Senior High School for the Performing Arts. So I'll do series of master classes there. But Monday, the 25th of this month, I will do a concert at the Kennedy Center and the Terrace Theater. I've had people go online, and unfortunately, it's sold out. I appreciate my hometown really showing up for me. But yeah, so that's Monday, and hopefully Washington Opera, sees that that the people will come out and support.
Yes,
so maybe we'll be able to do this again.
Man, it's literally bringing tears out of my eyes right now. Y'all have to understand that's.
Absolutely.
What you want to say?
Wow. So. Let's do the Lord's Prayer. That's really the first one of the first classical pieces that I learned, actually. Malat's Lord's Prayer, and this was over at I was singing over at Metropolitan Baptist Church back when my godfather Thomas Tyler was over there, and it's just something that I cherish, and I often will include it on concerts, on the opera stages or concert halls, but yeah. So let's do.
Every time I hear you sing,
I'm this is one of your favorites.
Yes, it is.
F. Yeah, F was good. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the as we say, floodline, bloodline.
Listen, floodline, bloodline.
Yeah, man.
So many different things here on Choppin' It Up with Chook. So this is a portion right here where, like, music does so many different things. It does so many different things. It's a healer. It's been scientifically proven that it can make things literally grow. Universal language. There's places that we, have traveled to where we can't understand them verbally, but they can understand what we're playing. And, it's just, even just like within 1 hour's time, the way, the songs that we played, stuff from your album, stuff when we played together, Marcus, and, and Solomon, and just hearing, just the reverence. I believe in always keeping the integrity of the music. Keep the integrity of the music. That's what, I would say to any entrepreneur, any artist coming up, that you want to learn, anything that this one main thing that this show I want to be able to share with you all is bringing in people whose lives and their experiences will help you along your journey. And that's what's very, very important. So, real quick, Solomon, what would you say to an up-and-coming artist, entrepreneur who sees you locally and abroad and will want to, how do they go about their dreams, or are their dreams too big, or,
Man, there was one song that, Climb Every Mountain. I remember performing that internationally at the grand opening of the Guggenheim Museum in '97. And Climb Every Mountain says, climb every mountain, search high and low, follow every byway, every path you go. Ford every stream, follow every rainbow until you find your dream. So I would say to never give up, especially if you know that, there's a passion, there's a true passion. As you all talked earlier, when that passion is there, it's like you dream about it, you walk it every day. No matter where you are, it's something that you can't get away from. That's the passion. And if you have the ability, the gift, work on your craft daily. Practicing is something that you have to do. Work on it daily, and to never give up. But as an artist performing for your public, I often say that we are charged with the task of healing, or in a way helping our public, our audience, to escape from whatever they're going through for that moment, however long they're there to hear us perform, or to hear us minister. For a lot of us who do sacred music only. However long they're there, our task is to help heal, help to rejuvenate, help revitalize, help to give life to whatever situation that they're in. So it's always important for us to, as you said, maintain integrity, be honest, and be vulnerable. That's something that I watch. My girlfriend Eileen Perez, she's always honest on stage.
Gotcha.
She's another opera singer as well. Google her. I mean,
gotcha.
She's everywhere, but she's always honest on stage, and I share that with my daughter, who's a musician, Ayana. She plays tuba. Even with instrumental music, find a story that keeps you honest. Find a story, something that you're saying, something that you're communicating.
Got it.
Because a lot of times in instrumental music, you don't have the luxury of words if you aren't playing something that actually has words composed to it or written. So, find a story, find something that keeps you honest, vulnerable, and communicate honesty to your audience, because a lot of times your
And then
audience
they can
is
tell.
educated, and they can tell when you don't know what's going on or you aren't connected,
Right.
and they feel robbed.
And be who you are.
And be true to yourself.
Absolutely. I'm gonna have Brother Marcus. Can you can slide? You can slide around to my mic, brother. I would not dare end this show. And what can you tell to some of the? You can slide around.
Oh, my bad.
To an aspiring artist that wants to come, be an entrepreneur. What words of wisdom would you give to them?
Yeah, the biggest thing, like the gentleman said, I mean, it's all about the passion, but also, too, I would say that always surround yourself with positive people. In this day and age, you have a toxic thing with social media, and it's an easy way to let your guards down. It's an easy way to tarnish your dreams. So be passionate, always practice, and just know that through God and faith, anything's possible.
Hey, man.
Absolutely.
You can't beat it. Listen, you all. This has been one of those episodes. We call it episode 5, but I tell you all, this is another one for the books, because no moment in time can be replaced. So like I said, I will always continue here at DC Radio, Chopping It Up with Chook, to be able to bring in people whose journey, not only their experiences will help you along the way, but also can articulate in a way that everybody can understand it. And what better way to understand it than real life experience? So I'm going to leave out of here today, Chopping It Up with Chook. But there's one song, since this, the atmosphere, there's one song I did on the Subject to Change album called I Surrender All. And at the end of the day, that's what this is all for. Because I don't look at it as me doing anything. I'm just glad to be a vessel to be able to share and help someone else along their way. So you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you soon here on Chopping It Up with Chook. It is your host, Antone Chooky Caldwell, DC Radio, and sponsored by the Headphone Lounge. Be blessed.
In DC, for DC. DC Radio, 96.3 HD4 and DCRadio.gov.